Hi, it's Andy, and today I'm doing the reading taste test tag. My god, you try and say that 5 times fast, I dare you. So, I'm doing the reading taste test. Why did I say it again? Why did I try and say it again? I'm doing this tag, reading taste test, and I was tagged by Becca. This tag basically goes through things about your reading taste and just asks you questions about it. And as I've said before, this is how a tag goes. You ask the question, you answer the question. So let's just get into it. The first question is, describe your reading taste in one sentence. Specific. Well, that's a word, Andy. That's not a sentence. In one sentence, I would say nothing too fantasy heavy and definitely not horror. So for example, I read a lot of historical fiction. I'm really into romance. I love urban fantasy. But the minute you start getting really detailed with your world building, my brain does a nope and is out of the picture. I'm really not one for picking up new environments when it comes to books. If I don't know the place, I really struggle. I don't have an imagination. I don't have that thing where you can picture stuff. Unless I've seen it before, I cannot picture it. So yeah. I think I failed that question. Question 2 is, describe your reading taste in terms of categories. For example, genre, age, length, etc. So I'll go into this more in a video about my statistics. I don't know if you'll be seeing this video before or after that, but I tend to like young adult through adult. I'm leaning more towards adult as I'm getting older, which, makes sense. That is my food at the door. I like historical fiction. I like books that are around about the 300 to 400 page mark. And I like very character heavy books. Question 3 is, show us a few books that represent your reading taste. And for that, I'm just going to kind of scoot a little bit. So these are my sort of favourite shelves. So we've got your more historical, kind of light fantasy. Urban fantasy, paranormal romance. Again, paranormal-esque, you can't see that, but that's got the YA sort of things. Yeah, so these are my kind of favourite shelves, the ones that you kind of see. So I've got Cassie Clare over there. That kind of describes my taste. This one in particular is very good for that. You've got the paranormal, fantasy, romance. You've got the really hard-hitting contemporary historical fiction-y. So these are modern historical fiction, so set in the 90s, 2000s. The sci-fi that I like, which is Andy Weir. Again, paranormal romance, and this is basically based on Narnia. And then Heartstopper. We all know Andy loves Heartstopper. Question 4 is, a book that you didn't enjoy that seemed like it would be to your taste. Oh, a book that I didn't enjoy. I think for that I'm going to have to say the most recent one that sticks in my head is The Long Game by Elena Armas. I really enjoy Elena Armas's other books, and it should have been right up my alley, but I just could not stand the characters. And the writing was very different to her regular writing, so it just ended up not being for me. Question 5 is, a book that you enjoyed that didn't seem like it would be to your taste. For that, I'm going to go to this shelf, which you can't see, and to Becky Chambers, because I'm not a sci-fi girly. Again, the girl with all the gifts. Horror sci-fi. I am not a sci-fi girly, but apparently I'm a sci-fi girly for these two. I love these books. These are two of my favourite books. And yet, I'm just knocking over stuff. I really didn't think I was going to like them, but I loved them. Who'd have thunk? Question 6. Show us some books on your TBR that seem like they will be exactly to your taste. So I've grabbed 3 here. So I've got Tools of Engagement by Tessa Bailey. This is not the first one in this. I don't think I have the first one. Or maybe this is the first one. I don't remember. Tessa Bailey, I will read whatever she writes. I love Tessa Bailey. She can do no wrong in my book. The Song of the Cell. This is a non-fiction about cells, DNA, evolution, if you don't know, where have you been? I studied forensic science at university with a specialisation into DNA analysis, and I'm a massive, massive geek for anything DNA related, biology related. It is just my thing, so there's no way I'm not going to love this book. And of course, the World War II historical fiction. This is Daughters of War. Again, this is World War II historical fiction based on true events. Like, that is just all the buzzwords for me. Question 7 is a booktuber you watch that has similar taste to you. So I would say old school Hayley in Bookland. So Hayley in Bookland has read previously a lot of books that I haven't read until much, much longer after she's read them, and I've really enjoyed them. So I've learned I should be taking recommendations from Hayley. Other than that, I don't really know, because I watch like Reagan, who's a big fantasy person, Books and Lala, who just reads weird books, but I do trust what she says. Again, Cassidy is very, very like fantasy based, but I know if it's like an anti recommendation thing, if Cassidy likes it, I know I won't like it, but if Cassidy doesn't like it, I know I'll love it, which is proven by Babel, because Cassidy did not like Babel. It wasn't for her, and it is one of my favourite books of the year, so, you know, it's like a reverse taste thing. I think I have bits and pieces, like Becca, she has romance that is very in line with what I like. Meg and Chloe, again, tend to have quite similar tastes to me when it comes to certain romance and paranormal stuff as well. Like, if it's a Meg rec, you know you're going to get a good book. That's all I can say. And yeah, like, a lot of people read a lot of fantasy, so I don't have that much similar to other people, but I do take chunks of, you know, taste from other people. Question 8. Have you always had this taste in books, or has it changed over time? It's definitely changed. Historical fiction and paranormal romance have always been massive, massive staples in my taste. But it's only recently that I'm coming around to contemporary romance and contemporary novels. And I am actually picking up, as you saw, sci-fi and some more fantasy. Like, I'm actually picking up more proper fantasy now. I'm towing my way into it. Towing my way into it. Very gently into fantasy. But I definitely feel like the past 2 or 3 years, my like preferences for books have taken like a big swing. It's not that I don't like the books I've read previously, it's that the books I've read previously, if I read them now for the first time, I probably wouldn't like them, but due to the nostalgia, I do like them. But I would never have read graphic novels until Heartstopper. I just wouldn't. Like, some of the fantasy and stuff that I've got, I would never have picked up before, and now I'm starting to enjoy fantasy, so I'm branching out a little bit. But yeah, so it's definitely changed. Up until relatively recently, I read mostly YA. I would say, like, I read a lot of YA through high school and stuff, which again makes sense because I was in the YA category, like YA, new adult, that sort of thing. Whereas now I lean more towards, especially in romance, adult romance, because it feels like it's such a strange thing. Because if I want like the hot and heavy style romance, I'm not going to go to a YA. Like, that's not what I want. If I'm reading a YA romance, I want like the heart eyes, like nostalgic feelings of having a crush on someone and being like, oh, they're my whole world and I'll die if they don't love me back. And then, like, you know, it's something that brings back those feelings. I like dabbling into like the nostalgia of how it felt to be a teenager again, but I'm not there to watch teenagers, you know? If I want to read anything like that, I'll read an adult romance. The adult romances are things that I want to see that reflect more what I'd expect in my own life now. So, like, the conversations that you have, the different choices that you have to make when it comes to relationships. For example, I'm now married, so like people discussing marriage and kids and futures together, mortgages and moving in together, like that. That's what I go to if I want like something that represents me now. But I will dip into young adult romance if I want something that represents me then. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And question 9 is tag some people. I am pretty sure, I am fairly sure that Becca tagged just about everybody I know. So I don't know who else to tag. I will just say, this is the cop-out that I always use. Say it with me, folks. If you want to do this tag, just say I tagged you. Feel free. Go ahead. But yeah, thanks so much for watching this. If you want to leave me an emoji in the comments, what shall we do? What shall we do? What shall we do? Let's be weird and leave me the tongue emoji, because this is a reading taste test tag. The tongue emoji. And just confuse everybody that's not gotten this far in the video. It'll be our secret. Just our secret. Anyway, I'm gonna go because I'm getting a little bit manic here, and I need to go have my dinner because it arrived a while ago and it'll be getting cold. So thanks very much for watching. Thank you very much again to Becca for tagging me in this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.